Good evening, my Roadsters. How are you doing? This is Michelle on the move. I am literally on the move. Sorry that I did not upload a video yesterday during my drive home. I actually tried. Renee bought me a microphone setup with this cool little mount for my car so that the angle would be great and the sound would be great. We tested it out the night before, went for a drive like in the neighborhood, recorded, it sounded amazing. I guess we did not think about the 80-mile-an-hour thing on the road, and so the audio was horrible, and it took me all night to upload the video. And then when I listened to it, it just wasn't the quality that I wanted to give to my my Roadsters. So I'm re-recording what I talked about yesterday on the road. So I'm using my headphones so that I can drown out any noise, so hopefully that this will be clear and y'all can hear me. I just wanted to talk about some nursing things with y'all today. So the title of this video obviously is common mistakes made in the nursing career. And I'm not talking about like giving the wrong med or banding the wrong patient, which of course those are major mistakes. I'm more talking about more career-oriented mistakes that I personally have made, and just talking with other nurses that have been as a nurse as long as I have, just asking them, like, if you could go back to the beginning of your career and change kind of something that you regret, but what it would be something that you would do. So some of the common mistakes that people have told me about is not putting enough in their 401k in the very beginning of their career. Like, I graduated nursing school when I was 20, and I put the bare minimum because I wanted my money. You know, I was not used to making money. I had like a minimum wage job, and I had just had a baby, and I was making money. One of my first purchases with my RN check was a outdoor swimming pool, which lasted literally 3 months and bursted. And so at that time they were like $450, and it was just a crazy stupid purchase. And I wish that I would have thought more about it. At that time I didn't even know anything about 401k really, or like dependents and those kinds of things. I wish I would have asked more questions and had a little bit better of an understanding of what that meant. Claiming less dependents gives you more money back at the end because nurses get taxed a lot. So if you claim 0 dependents, then at the end of the year you get back more of the taxes that you paid in. Putting a little bit more percentage in your 401k may hurt, but you get used to, you've already gotten used to living without that money. So putting more towards your 401k early helps you to not spend that money just frivolously, you know, like, and that's what I was doing. I was getting paid and I was out going and buying this and going and buying that because I wasn't used to having any money. And so that comes to my second mistake, is not saving money, not having a savings account for emergencies and mishaps and all that stuff. My extra money went to go and buy stuff because I was not used to having it. Example, the pool, and there's a lot of other things. So instead of putting away every paycheck and having a nice little nest egg in case of emergencies, which happened often, my central air went out as soon as we moved into our new house, and I was like 21 years old, and it was going to cost like $2,000, and I had to buy window units because Michelle did not have a savings account. So if I would have put away money more efficiently or effectively, or however you want to say it, I would have had my central air fixed. You should always have at least a paycheck's worth of money in a savings account for just in case, especially travel nurses. This is just specifically to travel nurses. I see this a lot on the travel nurse sites on Facebook and stuff about how my contract got canceled. What am I going to do? How am I get from point A to point B? You should always have at least one paycheck worth of savings in your savings account for these types of things. That's my advice, if not more, if you can. I mean, I know a lot of us travel to get out of debt, but once you start getting out of debt, you should be putting more toward that savings account for these types of things. Or just if you want to take a month off, or if you want to go explore or do whatever, take trips or whatever, I think that you should put more towards your savings account. Another mistake that I made was shortly after graduating from nursing, having a baby, I went through a divorce, which caused me to have to move out and get my own furniture and furnish a home and all that good stuff. And so credit cards came easy in the mail, steadily, just easy. And so they came, I applied. They came, I applied. I needed uniforms. I needed this, I needed that. And so I got myself into a lot of credit card debt early on in my life. And making minimum payments, yes, does look good on your credit score, but does not help clear off your debt. It's a tricky line between paying off credit cards too soon and paying them off late. So if you pay them off late, it looks ugly on your credit. If you pay them off too soon, it doesn't look good for your credit because then you have no history of making payments on time. So yes, you can make more to the card than your minimum payment, but if you charge $600 and then pay those $600, that doesn't show the credit bureau that you're actually making payments on time. So don't get in debt. That's my thing. Save money. If you want to buy something, save the money to just buy it. If you don't have the cash to buy it, then you don't need it. That's what my dad always used to tell me, and I should have listened to him. It took me a very long time to get out of debt. I am now actually almost debt free, minus my student loan payments, which I just, acquired. Other than that, I am probably only maybe $1,500 in debt right now, and that will all be paid off in the next 2 weeks. And so I am super proud of myself for, yes, I had to travel nurse, and it was a dream of mine that I wanted to do and I needed to do for personal reasons, and that'll be in another video, but it has helped me so much to be able to get out of debt. Another major mistake that I made as a young nurse is most nurses are women. Not all, and it's getting a little bit different now. Nowadays, more men are becoming nurses, but early on in my career, it was mostly a female-dominated profession. And when you work with a lot of women, women can be catty, very catty. And they can use things against you. And one of my mistakes was trusting people too soon. Telling them personal things about myself, my life, my relationships, that kind of thing. You get in an argument with that person and then they try to use that stuff against you. That literally did happen to me in my career. And so a big mistake. It's not to say that don't trust people. It's just, my hair's driving me crazy. Just be careful. Be careful. Make sure that you are have a good rapport with that person. And I've made some amazing friends throughout my journey in my nursing career. Amazing, even lifetime friends that I still talk to this day, just from my nursing jobs. So I am not regretting that. It's just be careful. Make good choices. Feel that person out for a little while before. And I would always say, save your personal fights or your personal qualms, relationship problems, kind of keep those to yourself, because if you work with a group of people that hang out a lot and then you're constantly complaining about your sig other or your spouse, and then let's say y'all go out or go out to dinner, they already have this negative view of how that person is just from what you're saying at work. And that could have just been an argument you had, or maybe you had a bad attitude that day and now they're thinking that that person's just a jerk. So take caution before you give out a lot of information. And lastly, I just wanted to talk about, and this is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, and I can still remember to this day as a 19-year-old girl in nursing school being deathly afraid of older nurses like what I am right now, because at 19 I thought a 44-year-old nurse was old. Here I am. So I can remember being deathly afraid of this one woman, and she was mean. She was mean to students. She hated students. She didn't even want them on her unit. She would not be afraid to tell you that to your face either. I can't stand students. Get out of my way. I have a job to do. And with that comes that nurse that you're being mean to is going to be in your shoes one day, or going to be your side-by-side partner maybe. Always keep that in mind when you're orienting or precepting somebody, that that person is probably going to be working side by side with you at some point. So be nice to them. Teach them the way you want your unit to run. Because if I'm an OB, and OB is a stressful place, and you have to be able to trust the person that you're working with. I want that person to be able to look at me in the eye and know exactly what I'm thinking, or know exactly what's wrong without me having to tell them. And so when you develop a good relationship with the person you work with, and you're nice to them, and you take them under your wing, and you teach them what you know and how you know it, there are shortcuts to things. Of course, we want to maintain what we learned in nursing school regarding like sterile field and all that good stuff. But, you know, there are a lot of tricks of the trade that you learn along the way that you can pass on to new nurses that will help them not be so scared. And with fear, striking fear into somebody causes them to be more nervous, causes more mistakes. They're more liable to fail or quit. And the last thing we need is a more shortage of nurses. We already have a shortage of nurses. So let's be kind to our new nurses. And I'm not saying just young nurses, because not all nurses are 20 and 21. There are some people that this is their second career, and they're already vulnerable because they're already thinking, am I too old to do this? Is this something that I'm going to be able to do? And when they go to a unit and they're treated poorly, let's say by a younger nurse that's precepting them, they're going to be like, this little girl's trying to tell me what to do, and she's not being nice, and she's being bossy or whatever. And then they're going to decide this isn't for me. And it may be something that they were drawn to do or meant to do. So be mindful when you're orienting and precepting our new nurses, because they need us. They need seasoned nurses that are experienced and nice, and actually are willing to teach them instead of dictate to them. Does that make sense? Don't tell them what to do. Tell them how to do it and why you're doing it. Because a lot of times with nurses, we are hands-on learners. And so, and I know I am. And so if somebody just tells me to do something, I need to do it myself, number one. And number two, I need to know, okay, so why did you do it this way as opposed to this way? Is this way easier? Is this way shorter? Is this way more effective? Does this last longer? You know, little things like that may help a new nurse out more than you will ever know. I one time received a letter from a nurse that I precepted that brought me to tears, because she said, you are the only person, and listen, I am not a patient person. It is not my virtue. But I feel like educating nurses and patients also is my thing. It's my niche. And so she said I was the only person that took the time to explain to her, you know, why things were happening. And instead of just the hustle bustle and keep up. Why are you so slow? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? And I actually took time with her. And I know a lot of the struggle. I know I'm going to get, don't come for me. I know what you're going to say already, because I've experienced that too. We are expected to precept and also work the floor and take a full load and also teach, which is very difficult. And it does take patience. And I guess that's why I say that is kind of my niche, because there's a process that goes to it. If you're interested in it, then ask about it. If you're not interested in precepting, then don't do it. You're not mandated to do it. And if you are mandated to do it, then you need to go to your supervisor and say, look, this isn't a thing that I'm good at, because I'm going to make a horrible nurse. Just be honest. Honesty is the best policy. And so those are just kind of some of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just some nursey things. This channel will also have some nursey things on it. So if that helps anybody out, if it just helps one person out, I've done what my little 15-minute video was set out to do. So I appreciate each and every one of you that are watching my videos, because you are the guys you guys love me, and I love you guys too. So if you haven't subscribed already, go down, subscribe, give me that like button. Give me some comments about what it is that you want me to talk about. What do you want to hear? Am I doing okay? Like, can you give me some suggestions? Do I need to change some stuff up? Yes, I will get better. Yes, I do have a camera that I have in mind. I have a microphone now, and so I will have a setup that is a lot more technologically savvy, let's say that, than just using my phone. But right now it is what it is. And so also go and hit that subscribe to that bell button. It's you click on the bell, it'll say all. That notifies you that I'm uploading a video so that you can watch it. The more you watch, the better it is for me. Also, the more you watch it, it encourages me to make more videos. So if you want more videos, watch. So thank you. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and till next time, my Roadsters. Bye-bye.